What is up, Tarleton Texans? Welcome to tonight's game for Overwatch 2 in NECC Division 6. We have Tarleton Purple versus Texas Tech Black. Sorry about the slight delay on the stream starting, but we did have Tarleton winning the first team fight. And now we're going to have the second team fight here to see if Tech can regain control of this point. A big kill by Zorse onto Airbender. And Crispy and Dampish getting a crazy cross angle there. And so far, Tech seems to be having a lot of issues with how oppressive Tarleton is playing. Doing a great job of not giving them any room to push up and overwhelming them on all fronts.
Yeah, doing a nice job of playing the choke and forcing a lot of these enemies back. And just like that, team fight is won. And Tarleton is going to force all those enemies to respawn and try to win another one. But yeah, you were saying you had made some great points there. They were really forcing those enemies back, holding the choke very well. And now we have a bunch of ults up as well.
Yeah, this is a great start from Tarleton. Zor's getting a crazy burst down on the Kiriko, and VA Beast able to finish it off. Just barely missing his pulse there, and it looks like Tech is starting to push onto the point.
A lot of ults getting popped here.
Dampish doing all he can to keep this fight alive, but he's having a hard time with little support there.
Tarleton slowly losing numbers here, although Dampish trying his best. Does get one back, but does go down eventually.
Good team fight there.
Yep. 93% for the side of Tarleton, so they will look to reset here.
Good play by Tech there, just making sure that they save up their ults and use them in order to win that team fight. But with Tarleton having it at 93%, they're going to have to play this really clean to make sure they don't lose this first point.
Fried Rice with a couple of huge kills there, and Dampish Penny with the third. And now Tarleton forces their way towards the point. Only one player remaining, that would be the Venture. Comes out from underground, and they will pick him off instantly. So Tarleton looking to end this point right here. They can somehow stall just in that choke, and it appears that's what Fried Rice is attempting to do as he pushes forward. 99% now. Lucio looking for the touch, and he will not get it. So Tarleton does get that first point.
Yeah, fantastic game from Tarleton there. Only losing the team fight where 2 or 3 ults came out from the enemy team, which is likely to happen at some point during the fight. But winning 3 out of the 4 team fights, so they looked great. Very oppressive play with Dampish Penny in the background on the Bastion, laying down the cover fire for Fried Rice to push up and get that space. So they're playing this perfectly so far, and we'll see how they do on this second point of Lijiang Tower.
Yeah, I love what I'm seeing so far from really both sides.
For sure. Yeah, Tech is doing as well as they can. You know, Overwatch is a game of counterpick, so we'll see what they end up going this match to see if they can change stuff around team comp wise. A lot of poke going down, but with Venture having to use her cooldowns early, this looks like Tarleton's going to have the space.
Yeah, Tarleton gets priority here on the point. That Bastion being very impressive and forcing these players to respect that turret, as Fried Rice does get trapped behind the wall, managed to get a pick.
Great Junker Queen here from Fried Rice so far. Wow.
Yeah, turret form unleashed there by the Bastion again, as those members from Tech are kind of forced backwards. Stuck behind the Mei wall now.
Rice is going to go down. And with Tech still having their tank up, this could be a bad spot for Tarleton. But with them having a couple members down, this is winnable. Playing very smart here.
Yeah, Tarleton looking like they're just going to give a point here.
Yeah, smart play from Tarleton there.
30%.
Giving up just a little bit of point, but they held on to it for a long time and didn't lose any lives. So if they're able to get a pick here, they should be able to explode in. Just like that.
Oh yeah, you called it. Fried Rice creating a lot of space for his team there to get on the point with that Junker Queen ult. The Venture still attempting to contest for as long as possible as the rest of her team goes down. And that will be another capture for Tarleton. As a side shift once again. Astronaut looking for maybe some type of stall pick potentially. Gonna find the Lucio actually, so now attack down one support as they look to make this push again.
Getting very aggressive here, but they
once
have
again isolated from the rest of the team.
Wow.
Able to get out of it.
This is not a space you want to be in as Tech against a Mei and Junker Queen.
Yeah, and Tech probably gonna be forced to reset once again after that Mail. Wow, great play from Zorse as he gets 3 off that Mail.
Awesome play from Zorse. They are playing this fantastically so far. Tech really isn't even playing bad as far as hitting their shots. They're just losing the space battle, and Tarleton's getting to get away with whatever they want and burst somebody down before they're able to do much about it.
Another May wall there from Zorse to try to isolate a few of these players coming through. And yes, they will pick off the Lucio. Now Ramatra in a lot of trouble here as he's forced into a corner. Suzio's used and he pops his ult. And Zorse will ultimately pay for that as those 2 ults do take him down.
Great tracking there from Dampish.
And now we got a final fight here on the point to try to see who's gonna Tarleton close out this map, and though Dampish will go down and Fried Rice might be forced to back off.
Big axe, yes.
And he has popped the ult, so he does go back in, gets 2.
Good ult, good ult.
The Venture,
wow.
Not much doing there, and Tarleton gets it. Wow, Fried Rice right on his cooldown is able to get the Junker Queen ult off, kill 3 to win that point for Tarleton, and now he's 1-0 in the series.
Yeah, this was fantastic. Let's see what this play of the game was. And
That's what could have been the play of the game as well here at the end. Yeah, exactly. It was.
Perfect play. The second that he saw that axe there, he knew he needed to go in with all of them low. Wouldn't be able to heal anything, and that's an easy win.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah, so a fantastic map 1 there from Tarleton. Again, like we talked about, just absolutely overwhelming their enemy with their team comp. With Crispy on the Junker Queen and Dampish on the Bastion. If they try to poke out to damage the Junker Queen, Bastion just mows them down, and they always are making sure to coordinate their cooldowns so that he'll be in turret form so they can't challenge it recklessly. They played around their cooldowns great there, especially when Zorse swapped over to the Mei. That complemented their playstyle fantastically. They were able to wall somebody off, have it be a 1v3 at the bare minimum most of the time, and that player's going to be dead 99 times out of 100, and they were able to steamroll the fights off of that. So that was a great lead on time. Yep. So we will take a small break, and they will be right back here in just a second for more of this Week 1 matchup between Texan Esports Purple and Texas Tech Black. All right, so it looks like we are about to get match number 2 or map number 2 of this game underway. Looks like they went with King's Row, obviously a notoriously long-range map. So this is a good pick if it was by Tech, which obviously they lost, so it should be. In order to counter the play style that Tarleton employed that last game. Junker Queen's not going to be good on this map really at all. May is decent on the first point defending, but Tech likely picked this map to force Tarleton to switch it up to a different play style. So we'll see how they respond with this map.
Yeah, I might see a bit more hit scan. Maybe that's what Tech might be going for. Try to get a few more of those picks.
Yeah.
On those types of characters, whatnot. But we'll see how both teams make their adjustments here as we head right in. About to get the agent selection done.
Yep, so it looks like
or
for
agent,
Tarleton,
champion, I always get confused.
yeah, heroes, you know, whatever.
Here.
Everybody knows what we're talking about. Same thing. But yeah, so we've got Alari and Kiri for the healers for Tarleton, Bastion per usual, and it looked like Widowmaker from Zor's coming out, and Ramatra for the tank. So this is a really good comp. Dampish can make Bastion work on just about any map, and Bastion's not bad on King's Row really at all. He's pretty decent on push if the enemies can't deal with him. But we will have to see what the team comp looks like for Tech before we can determine who has the advantage in these team fights.
Yeah, agreed. As we get started right here, Zor's looking for an opener. And he will get a tag, but not quite a kill.
Nice.
Wow.
Very early burst down on the Ramatra from Tech, from a headshot from Zor's combined
Yeah,
with
the
some
combination
shots.
of that Widowmaker damage plus everything else I was hitting, that pretty much the tank exploded there.
Excellent
Nice job.
timing. Excellent timing. Got a really good angle here. And Zor's actually being very smart and playing with his team here as opposed to sitting on the high ground as many Widowmakers like to do on this map. It makes it really easy to get dove, but when you're in the safety of your team, yes, it's harder to get those picks off, but you are a lot safer and less of a risk making it a 4v5 early.
So Tech makes their move here as they get past that first choke. Ramatra putting some pressure as Zorz does get picked off by the May there, and Fried Rice will also go down. So Tech does make their way onto that first point.
Yeah, really good push there.
And they get it uncontested.
Really good push there from Tech. They waited and walled off the Ramatra. As we talked about, May, you know, you can make any character work on any map in this game. But Tarleton might have an easier time countering the May now that they know that they have them. Speaking of. And Crispy is playing very aggressive here. He doesn't care. He wants to contest that point, but not quite going to be able to.
Now, while that happens, Dampish does get a flank and pick off both supports, so that will stall out Tech for a little long before they're able to push this cart.
Yeah, sorry I missed that, but absolutely amazing flank there from Bradley. Didn't show himself until Ramatra made contact. And he might be taking a fight here with the Venture.
The ult was actually popped. That'll buy Tarleton a bit more time as well.
Forcing out the
ammo.
ammo. Yep.
This high ground position, very impressive from the Bastion as he does a lot of damage to those characters down below. Gets the Venture.
Yeah, this is great play by Bradley and Steven working off of each other. Steven makes sure to get their attention, and then Bradley peeks around the corner from an angle that they can't really contest him at. Wow, speaking of. You see, he does it again.
For Texas Tech continues to be a problem, but Baptiste now goes down. A lot of these staggers forcing Tech to regroup for several minutes now at this opening choke, second point.
Yeah, Tarleton doing a much better job here defending now that they're aware of what the team's playing. It's a lot harder to catch them off guard.
Tarleton really not giving up any of the spaces. They also use the Baptiste window to just pretty much force Tech, and as another pick goes down for Zorz onto the Judo.
Yeah, if I'm Tech here, I've got to force this Ramatra out. He's getting to walk up for free, and nobody's really even shooting at him. I get that they're worried about the Bastion, but we can see that he's not up there right now. They need to make sure that Ramatra isn't able to just push into their entire team while the rest of Tarleton gets to roam around for free.
Yeah, a lot of variables causing Tech problems, it seems. but they need to make that adjustment pretty soon. Still with 3 minutes left here, as they were able to capture that first point pretty quickly. As
Going
they
for
do
a
take
flank.
the approach.
Yep.
And a nice Juno ult there as they kind of trap Ramatra behind this Mei wall. He blocks so they can keep himself alive along with the healing from the supports.
Stake does go down, but this team fight is still looking winnable.
Arden without both their supports, however. Fried Rice does get one in return, instantly traded out, however.
Yeah, no longer winnable. That was a good play in the end there by Tech, but they have wasted quite a bit of time not pushing the payload. If they can keep it going here, it doesn't really matter. But Tarleton is definitely going to have time to regroup and fight them at least a couple more times.
The ult's invested by both sides as well, so we'll see how this next fight goes as Tech starts to approach the end of the second point. Tarleton will surely contest this. As the Bastion, Dampish Penny does look for another flank maybe. Another high ground spot. There goes turret pop, does get one.
Yeah, this timing by Dampish has been just impeccable so far. Peeking from different angles, peeking at off timings, making sure that he doesn't show himself before it's necessary. And it's getting him a lot of reward every single time. You know, Bastion's very counterable when he does what you think he's going to do. He's supposed to be a very predictable character. But the way that Dampish Penny plays him almost more like a soldier or an off flank makes him a lot more deadly with the
pair that with
coordination.
his excellent tracking too. It's just
Absolutely. And the great
very
play
nice
from
job all around.
yeah, the rest of his team, the heals have been immaculate so far from Tarleton. There have been some deaths, but none that really could have been prevented. We're just seeing some great play from both sides, but unless Tech starts to push this, it's going to be hard for them to really put up big numbers in terms of time here.
And once again, Dampish Penny just getting another pick with that ult, forcing Tech to wait a few more precious seconds here as the clock does wind down under a minute for them to capture the second point.
Yeah, Tech really only going to have one play here. Seems like they might be flanking again.
BAB's kind of ready with that Kitsune to counter whatever ults come out from Tech. And with what will likely be the final fight here. For the end of the second point. Both windows coming through from each Baptiste.
Dampish might have time for another ult here if he can live. Oh, unfortunately not.
Yeah, Ventral very impressive, creating a lot of space. As Zorus also goes down. So Tarleton without both their DPSs, Fried Rice does get isolated. So we'll see if these supports, they might have time to come back and test one more time. Kitsune Rush available if VA Beast can manage to survive.
Yeah, really good push there from Tech, but they are low on resources, and Tarleton should have plenty of time to come back and contest this. Ramatra is far back. This is going to be close.
Yeah, it seemed like they're going to give up. Well, maybe not. There's a touch from Zorus. Ult comes through. Kitsune probably about to come out. Yep. Lots of chaos on the screen right now.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out what's going on.
Everything being
Healing
popped.
as much as he possibly can.
Both teams fighting for survival right now, and it looks
That ult
like...
from Fried Rice to counter is perfect, and that will actually stop Tech from getting the second point. An amazing job there. Fried Rice counters the enemy Ramatra ult and secures that for Tarleton.
Yeah, great play there from Tarleton. As we expected, Tech had a lot more success compared to the first map. Again, I think that they are more comfortable when they're not being forced into these close range situations with a Bastion spraying bullets in their face and a Junker Queen or Ramatra shooting them as well. So whenever they were able to get more space or surprise the Texans right there, they had a lot more success. So we're going to see if they're able to surprise them once again and stave them off from this premature ending that they suffered last map. But Kings Row is a map you can get held on very easily if you're not coordinated. So Tarleton's gonna have to play well here in order to get this second point, which is essentially the win marker, with Tech getting right up to it. Does look like they're gonna go for somewhat of a different comp this side, with a Winston and a spectating stuff.
Focusing a little more on dive, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, so Reaper here from the Zorus, which I have not seen yet, but he's played amazing on every character I've seen him play so far. Great, versatile gameplay, so I have no reason to doubt him now. And we'll see how Tarleton attacks his first point.
And definitely a change in strategy, change in pace, trying to catch Tech off guard. See if it works out for them, as Winston does look for an opportunity to go in. Might be waiting on his barrier.
Big flank here from Zorus.
Yeah, lots of space created there, as all the Tech members under a lot of pressure from this Winston Reaper. Yeah, and essentially looking like they might be forced to give this up if they can't find a pick, and they are trying to focus the Winston, but the Reaper causing the mishies. Yeah, and like that, first point already in the hands of Tarleton.
They want more. They're hungry. They want it all. They want to end it right here.
Yeah, the momentum is continuing here, as they're speeded by the Juno, and the Winston just gets right in their face.
Winston is cut off from his team here, but with the Ramatra facing the entire team.
Yeah, and with the Primal as well. It's just very difficult for Tech to find a way back in. They need to stop all the chaos before Tarleton's able to push this point too much further.
Wow.
Or their tank does go down.
Great play there from Crispy, getting in there and making a lot of space. Again, space has been the name of the game this entire match so far. I don't necessarily think that Tech is being out-killed a lot. They're just being out-sustained and out-pushed. Tarleton is a force of nature, an unstoppable object, or an unstoppable force, and Tech is trying to be an immovable object right now, but they're having a hard time.
And it seems like they're all just getting their ults off these cooldowns, and
yeah, Tech
doesn't really know how to react because it's so much pressure. Now Zorus does go 1-for-1 on the Reaper ult there.
Crispy extremely
low.
Getting
its objective.
Crispy extremely low, but somehow surviving.
Maybe
this is massive.
The Reaper was eliminated, but with a lot of time on the clock, Tarleton is in no rush.
Yeah, Tarleton essentially having one strong push to get them just a few meters away from where Tech ended theirs. And if they're able to build together a few ults, like it looks like they might try to do right now, they could be able to end it here. 4 down.
Wow, 4 kills come
Only
through.
Ramatra remains for Tech. He is all that remains between Tarleton going up 2-0. And it looks like they will take this second map, Kings Row.
Yeah, just the combined efforts of Fried Rice and Dampish Penny there at the end, combining for those 4 kills. It's an amazing job. The change in strategy for sure did work out for Tarleton there, as they do go up 2-0 in the series.
Little Bastion play of the game from Dampish Penny. Let's see what he cooked.
Yeah, another flank. We didn't quite catch this again, but
they would never know.
But yeah, easy triple there as he pops the turret.
Bradley's so good at hiding, he hides from me. I don't even know where he is. Like,
yeah, incredible position there. Observer can't even catch it, but
yeah, this has been fantastic textbook gameplay from Tarleton so far. Again, they're winning off of pressure and taking space on the map. Just by opening up these angles and forcing the enemy into an uncomfortable position, they make it so much easier to win these team fights. Or if they don't even win these team fights off the bat, they're able to at least get more of the objective than their opponent and win that way. So they have looked like a great unit right now. They're all working together. There doesn't seem to be a single weak link that Tech is able to exploit and go after. Everybody's playing together. Healers are keeping everybody up. The damage is doing their job, making sure to secure those picks. And Fried Rice is doing a great job of making space for his team. It looks like unless Tech is able to play a map that they are severely better than Tarleton at, or they have something up their sleeve we haven't seen yet, this may be a 3-0 from Tarleton, but we are yet to see. Looks like next they are going to be doing push, and we will be back in just a couple minutes for this third map of this week 1 match between Texas Tech and Tarleton Texans. All right, and it looks like we are loading in for our third and potentially final map of tonight, Esperanza. We will have to see, like we talked about, if Tech can make a turnaround and potentially send this series to a 4th game. One thing I will say beforehand is I do know that the Texans, this is one of their preferred pushed maps, at least of a few of the members. And as we've talked about, space has been the name of the game, and this entire game mode is about space. So we will have to see. Tarleton could get a little too big for their britches and over push. It could be their downfall. But if they keep playing how they have been so far, they should be able to push this payload with relative ease.
Fried Rice back on that Junker Queen that we saw on the first map. So exciting stuff there. Damp is still staying on the Bastion.
Yep, this looks like the same
Had a lot of success so far.
This looks like the same comp that we saw out of the gate on Lijiang Tower. See what Zorse is able to do here on the Tracer, since he's likely going to be our first contact. Tracer v Tracer. D.Va here from the Tech. Hank. Ooh, and Zorse letting the other Tracer know who's boss immediately.
D.Va also taking out a mech and focused instantly, and just like that, Tarleton with an advantage.
Yeah. Great start once again from Tarleton. They're able to isolate the Tracer and the D.Va on the right side. Not sure where their team was, but with it being essentially a 2v5, there was not much that either one of them were going to be able to do in the face of Tarleton's assault.
Now the robot begins to push forward, already reaching 30 meters. See where Tech decide to try and come through. It seems it's right in the face of Fried Rice. D.Va working side by side with, I think that is a Brigitte.
Yes.
Yeah. Ooh, and a Sombra swap too, also picking off Stake right there.
Yeah, Tech looks to switch it up a little bit. Immediate swap off the Tracer, which was likely a good pick. And going into that Sombra, that's going to be really good against this Bastion. And potentially able to do some against the Junker Queen if she overextends. As of right now, she's just walking down this back line and taking them out. Oh my gosh.
Completely separating supports from the rest of the team there is Fried Rice on the JQ. And now D.Va completely unsupported. Might just have to run away.
Oh, so I apologize. It's the other DPS is the Sombra, so it's a Sombra and Tracer, very dive heavy comp. along with the Brigitte and the Diva. This is a very dive heavy comp, so if they're not able to pretty quickly push the enemy team, Tarleton in this case, off the point, like it seems like they might be able to do right now. Tarleton's
they
just
kind of
gonna
have a target on his back right now from
Yeah.
these 2 DPSs as he goes down
going
again.
a little too
He's
hard.
gonna trade it out.
but he is able to get Diva out of mech.
Ooh, the
Tracer
Sombra is
far
able
in the
to get
back
damage
line.
penny. Fried Rice with this ult proc, looking to see when these enemies group up.
Yeah, knowing that Diva doesn't have her ult right here, if he gets her out of mech, he should go for it right about now, unless he's able. Never mind. No team there. Free kill.
Yeah, and all the picks coming in favor of Tarleton here as Damage Penny also snipes one down with ult, and Zorse dives the final 2 players.
Oh my goodness.
Tarleton takes control of the robot once again. And I believe they might have already captured that first point. I'm not entirely sure.
Just now.
Yes, they did. So
Yep, so
They will
Tarleton is
continue
about halfway there, and Tech has not made much progress yet, but they have had a little bit more success with some of the counter swaps. We'll see if they change anything else, but as of right now, Zorse is just going up and finishing every single one of them that Crispy gets low.
the EMP does come out there from Tech. Damage Penny takes down the Sombra for it, but they will also lose VA Beast on their side. Missed pulse bomb there, but Fried Rice does ultimately go down to the Diva. Tech regains control off that EMP.
Zorse is causing a lot of problems in the backline right now.
Yeah, really just refuses to go down. Waits for his team to recontest again, then comes from behind and just causes a lot of issues.
Yeah, again, Tarleton's playing smart. They're not necessarily concerned with getting picks. If they get them, that's great, but at the end of the day, it's all about pushing your enemies off of the point, and that's just as good if you're able to
Stuck
force
pulse
them.
bomb there onto the Ana, takes him down.
Disgusting.
Once again, Tech losing their numbers quite quickly as he takes down the Brigitte. Now is just a tank. Diva running for their life.
Zorse steals the health pack from him.
Yeah, not gonna get away though, taking out a mech and taking down.
Submitting to his fate. Tarleton cannot be stopped right now.
Just once Tarleton gets an opener, it just seems like they converge on that pick pretty rapidly.
Yeah, they
Finding
are
a lot of
playing
success.
absolutely textbook across all maps so far. A couple small mistakes, but in the face of entire enemies' ults, there's not always a lot you can do.
Both Traces forced to recall there as they 1v1 each other up top. Damage Penny does go down to the Sombra, and 2 picks there for the DPS, and the Nano able to get it done as all the picks in favor of Tech here.
Yep, Tech is
They
able
once again
to.
regain control.
Yep, Tech's able to use the advantage of having their spawn so close, regroup, and they're able to finally take control of the robot. We'll have to see if they're able to push it further than their current max.
Yeah, the issue for Tech is every time Tarleton regains control, they gain a lot of
Yeah.
ground, and when Tech regains control, they lose the team fight and don't get very far. So they need to look to try to get some space here if they want to way back into this one. But
Absolutely. Tarleton's gonna
Gosh, the
explode
point
on the
coming
back
through again
line.
just
Oh
causing
my
problems.
gosh. Dampish Penny is tapping heads and taking names.
Titan once again on the run. Bot is going to get pushed forward 30 meters by the Tracer, so a job well done there, but ultimately will go down. And once again, Robot in control of Tarleton.
This monkey is so chill. This is how good Tarleton's doing.
Beat ready for stake, potentially if they try to counter whatever ults are being used from the side of Tech. Pulse Bomb is also ready again.
Zorse getting low, but playing smart and holding his recall there, knowing that he's fine. Big beat here from Tarleton as they explode onto the enemies.
Fried Rice probably ready to use his primal, and there it is.
Exactly, yes.
Getting right in the face of both those supports. Forced to use the Brig ult in response. But this Ana not very many nowhere really to go.
My goodness. Everybody's making out with everybody, but nobody's willing to stop. Oh my gosh, Dampish is... Oh my gosh. Dampish is everywhere.
There's so much pressure, and they finally do go down.
Absolutely. Dampish is everywhere these supports don't want him to be.
Yeah,
The
Tank
final
does respawn
push
here, but without any support, it's going to be very difficult for her to get anything done.
Yeah, along with the counter swap onto Winston, D.Va surely has her bomb, but if they're able to get her out of mech twice here, it should be all over.
Now they do get the nano boss, the nano boost off on him.
Yeah.
Which will probably cause Tarleton to wait just a minute.
See, Tarleton playing great here and not giving up any picks. They didn't get much for that nano other than regain control of the robot. So they could easily lose here, getting this choke point.
Now the Kitsune, as they re-engage, bomb popped out.
Oh
but
my goodness.
D.Va is taken down, gets 2 for it, but loses her life in the process.
Dampish does not let anybody get out alive. I'm telling you.
Oh my goodness. Dampish frontlining there, does get traded out.
Wow,
Jake also
Tarleton
goes
is extremely close to the end.
Yeah, very aggressive towards the end of that point. Got very close, not quite winning it out, but with 1:20 left to go, Tech has a long way to go.
Yeah, we would
Try
have
and
to
bring
see
this one back.
a historical push here from Tech in overtime in order to get it all the way. They would have to essentially get it to Tarleton's spawn, with it being as close as it was on Tarleton's side. One big flank here and a couple quick picks could spell doom for Tech.
Even attempting to dive Dampish over there on top of the bridge. He will drop down as they lose their tracer. Fried Rice getting in the face of all
Crispy
3
does not
players
care.
there.
He does not care. Give him the
With
ult.
Prime already, he'll go ahead and use that as well.
He wants the smoke.
Taking a lot of damage now, though, as he's forced to back off, but he does lose his life. So now, Tech with an opportunity potentially.
An
Try and push this
unfortunate
point
death
forward.
there from Tarleton, but still great time stall. And they're going to be able to force Tech to push around 100 meters in overtime.
Yeah, we're going to reach overtime here, and Tarleton needing to win just one more team fight to close out the series. So we'll see what happens here in the next few minutes.
Crispy doesn't care. If D.Va wants it, he'll give it to him. Wait.
Big beat there from Tarleton as they get a couple openers. There's Fried Rice diving in, getting 2. George finishing off that Sombra. Now Tech only has 2 players remaining. Make that 1.
D.Va is the last
Like that,
player
even
here.
the last one.
1v5ing, trying to keep this alive for as long as possible, but not going to be able to. And it looks like that is going to be Tarleton's first victory of the season, going up 1-0 over Texas Tech Black.
Yeah, very clean, clearly very prepared here. A lot of this composition's working very well. Dampish Penny sticking on the Bastion throughout the entirety of the series.
Yep. He makes them adapt to him, not the other way around. And let's see this play of the game from Crispy Fried Rice.
Yeah, just a lot of damage here at the end from
my gosh.
Crispy Fried Rice is leaving the enemies with nowhere to go, nowhere to run. And Tarleton does close out that series in a 3-0 fashion.
Yeah. So overall, that was a fantastic game 1 from Tarleton, our last semester emergent champions for NECC. They're continuing to show their dominance, not dropping a single point on any of these maps and only losing a couple odd team fights that were highly stacked against their favor. They played great. Everybody played extremely coordinated. As we talked about, the name of the game was spacing. They were able to outposition their opponents in almost every team fight and gain the upper hand, making it to where their opponents had to completely outplay them in order to win, because they were on the back foot from the very beginning. Tarleton not giving them any time to breathe and keeping the pressure on all the way through all 3 maps. They're able to take their first victory.
Yeah, ultimately the momentum too great. Not Texas Tech not really finding the adjustment that they needed towards the end of that series there, and Tarleton playing very clean game, like you said.
Yeah. Yeah, but
Excellent positioning, very well done.
for sure. We wish all the best to Texas Tech. It's only the first week. A lot of improvements can still be made, and we will see everybody for the week 2 game for Tarleton Texan Esports Purple next Friday. At the time is not known yet, but we will let everybody know. So thank you to B. Jord for joining me today. I was RST.
Of course, no problem.
And yeah, this was a great game, and we look forward to the rest of the season.